Are you tired of not achieving your fat loss goals? Have you tried everything to lose fat, but you haven't been able to sustain the fat loss? You lose a few kilos, but you put it back on, or even worse, you put on more weight than you lost. If so, you are not alone, and this video will take you through the basics of what you need in order to achieve long-lasting fat loss. So like this video, subscribe, and continue watching. Learn to walk before you run, and the basics are the equivalent of that with fat loss. However, people want fat loss now, which leads them to do unsustainable things. These things could include very low calorie diets, cutting out all the foods that you enjoy, and exercising 24/7, 365. Yes, these will get you the results faster. However, everyone who I've seen take this approach has put the weight back on after they've lost it. It might take a few weeks, maybe even a few months, but eventually, if you use a rapid fat loss and do unsustainable things, you eventually gain the weight that you've lost back. Now, the biggest reason is with unsustainable methods, you don't learn the basics that you need for long-lasting fat loss. I personally haven't heard of anyone who only wants fat loss for a short amount of time. Everyone wants fat loss to last forever. So why take the shortcuts? Do the work and take the long-lasting approach. So today we're going to discuss the basics, the things that you need to do daily, weekly, in order to build a good foundation for long-lasting fat loss. The basics number 1, eating your greens. Whether it's vegetables or salads, you want to aim for around 400 grams per day or 5 fistfuls. There are plenty of different varieties of vegetables or salads out there. Be an adult, find ones that you like, and eat your damn greens. The reason is that greens have nutrients and vitamins your body needs to function at its best, and it will help you feel fuller for longer. The basics number 2 is to eat your fruits. Yes, fruits have sugar. No, they aren't bad for you or cause you to gain fat. I've never seen anyone gotten fat from eating fruits. Fruits have fiber and nutrients that our bodies need, and daily you want to aim for around 300 grams or 2 palm-sized servings per day. Similar to fruits, there are so many varieties of fruits out there. Find ones that you enjoy and eat them daily. Basics number 3 is to eat protein. Protein is important for more than muscle building. Protein is broken down to amino acids. Amino acids contribute to growth and repair of our entire body's cellular things. Protein also helps us feel fuller for longer due to the protein having to be broken down into each individual amino acids. There are many different recommendations of how much protein you should eat daily, but a good place to start is double your body weight in kilograms. So, if you are 60 kilograms, you should have around 120 grams of protein per day. Basic number 4 is strength training. Strength training is key to maintaining muscle mass when dieting. Muscle mass helps you burn more calories at rest, and strength training also contributes to helping shape your body. You've probably seen people who only do cardio when dieting. They just end up looking like a stick version of themselves. I'm sure you want big bulging arms and nice and toned shoulders and back of the arms. So it's important to do strength training regularly during the week. So how often should you strength train? Ideally at least 4 times a week. And when I say strength training, it doesn't mean you just have to lift weights. It's just a broad term of putting resistance against your muscles, which can be done through weights, your own body weight, kettlebells, bands, all this type of stuff that I have in the back. As long as you are performing some sort of strength training, that's going to be beneficial with fat loss. Basic number 5 is walking. Daily walks contribute to something called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Basically, NEAT is the calories burned through physical activity. outside of planned exercise. So these are things like walking, fidgeting, and cleaning, mowing the lawns, and those kind of activities. So things that aren't planned, um, physical activities like a strength training session. So a good and easy way to increase NEAT is through walking. Outside of increased activity levels, walking also helps to improve your cardio health. Now, how many steps per day? Ideally, you want to be aiming for around 10,000 steps per day. The final one that we're going to be talking about today, the basics number 6, it's everyone's favorite, is high intensity cardio. Again, it's the preferred tool for a lot of people to use when trying to lose fat. My opinion on this, we're not going to go into it too in depth, but you should do some form of high intensity cardio at least once per week. Why so little? A lot of people like to use HIIT to, because they can burn a lot of calories during the workout. However, the amount of calories you burn during a workout doesn't necessarily equate to you losing fat. You still need to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose fat. So if you aren't in a calorie deficit but doing 5 to 6 days of HIIT or high intensity training, then you're not going to get anywhere. You're probably just going to get hurt, frustrated, and stop training. Outside of that, what you really should be doing high intensity cardio for is to improve your heart health, similar to walking, as opposed to fat loss. High intensity cardio, my recommendation is to pick one that you like and do it once per week. Doesn't matter what it is, just get it done. So those are the 6 basics you need to master in order to build a strong foundation for your fat loss. Some of you might be thinking the recommendations for a lot of the things that I've discussed are way out of your league at the moment. The good news is the recommendations I've given out don't have to be hit from day one. If you don't eat any grains, start with having 50 or 100 grams per day. The same with protein. If you can't reach double your body weight in protein, have just your body weight in protein. So similar to walking, 10,000 steps is a lot for people, especially if they spend their time at home behind a computer and not doing a lot of walking. So start with something like, even 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever number it may be. We're all going to have different starting points. Don't feel bad or think you shouldn't start just because the ideal number seems out of reach for you. That's a bad mindset to have, and it won't serve you for anything in life. Instead, focus on progress, not perfection. Once you've figured out your minimum amount that you can do realistically every day, work on building up that ideal number over the next few months and years. So 100 grams of greens the first month, for example. The next month you bring it up to 150. The month after that 200, and so on and so forth until you reach the 400 gram ideal recommendations. I hope that helps. Comment below if you have any questions. Till next time, this is Brian from Brian B Fitness. See ya.